Hello everyone, my name is Leandro and I'm here with a very close friend of mine. His name is Eddie. We are interrupting your regular scheduled television program to bring you a little bit of culture. That's right, you heard right, I said culture. Tonight, instead of rotting your brain with love stories, we will improve it with the review of one of the best horror stories written by Edgar Allan Poe, The Telltale Heart. Well, now my friend Eddie is going to introduce the plot of the story. Right, Eddie? Why not, Eddie? Come on, Eddie. You're making me nervous. You're making me look like a fool, Eddie. Well, never mind. I do it. In The Telltale Heart, the narrator starts speaking to us. He wants to convince us that he is not mad, that he is not insane. He has killed an old man in a violent way, but he still claims that he is not mentally ill. He says he doesn't have anything against his victim. All the same, he visits the old man every night with the intention of getting rid of the old man's blue eye. After achieving his goal and murdering the old man, he chops him up and hides the corpse under the floor. After that, he continues hearing the old man's heartbeat, and he still wants to convince the reader that he is not insane. Eddie, do you like the story? Why not, Eddie? Oh, I see. You are the old man.
What does it mean to kill a person? I wonder. Have you ever wondered why are we not supposed to kill other human beings? Well, I have. And I came up with only one conclusion. Avoid. Kill them all, kill them all, kill them all. Can we truly draw a line between what's right and what's wrong? Edgar Allan Poe, master of blurred minds and inconceivable thoughts, tried to show how dangerous and destructive human minds can be. We can lie to ourselves and pretend that we are doing right whenever we believe it is right. We are raised in parameters, limitations, prohibitions, rules. All of this makes us dependable. It is said that complete freedom is unreachable, unreachably close to us. Shut them up! Shut them up! The process of creation takes 7 days, or 9 months, or centuries. Destruction lasts so little that we don't really enjoy it. If you cut someone's throat, they died in seconds. You can push them against something and they easily die. Or you can blow their heads with so many weapons of choice. Can you now comprehend the dimension of this idea? Would you bear the guilt of killing? Or would your other personality tell you what to do? The right, the wrong, the conscious, the unconscious, life and death.
Yes, Detective. I am Dr. Fainting, yes. Of course, I did hear about the crime. I did, yes. Very well, let's see. We started his treatment long ago. 2 years or more. Well, at first, he was no more than another patient. Heard things, saw things, the average stuff. My mind needs some rest, he repeated insanely every session. Many of my patients describe the same feelings, but this time I could smell something different, something rotten inside him. He just couldn't help it. He showed some kind of hatred, some repressed hatred. He was sure he was going to make it stop. His condition caused him no fear at all. Medication? No, not enough. I tried it, of course. But things went even worse before that. The old man, yes, he mentioned him. My friendly old neighbor, he used to say. He couldn't avoid mentioning his eye every meeting. Weird thing, isn't it? But the strangest thing of all is that he showed some kind of appreciation, some kind of love for that man. I couldn't have guessed an ending like this. Of course not, of course. Otherwise I would have reported him to the police. Killers have always motives, but they very well know how to hide their true nature. I just can't say anything else about him. He had his troubles, of course. Who hasn't? If we consider that every person who does therapy is a possible killer, you would be all imprisoned, wouldn't you? I've got to leave now, honestly. I'm just a therapist. It's your job to avoid crimes, not mine. I'm a therapist.
Good evening. In the next 3 minutes or so, I will carefully explain to you, through exemplification, some fragments of Edgar Allan Poe's mind-blowing classic, The Telltale Heart. First, concerning the topic of madness, we can undoubtedly see how lunatic this man is. when he openly expresses his obsession with his victim's eye. Now, the idea of a person feeling threatened by a single eyeball and then killing somebody for that reason only is by far the perfect piece of evidence to support this major theme through which the whole story hypnotically spins around. As regards murder, the main character kills his victim without any type of remorse whatsoever, chops him into pieces, and then hides the evidence so as to get away with it, to go unpunished. What's more, such outrageous act is carried out so meticulously and so accurately that we can only consider the event to be a premeditated murder. In addition, the narrator feels proud of what he has done, and this is shown through his relentless apathy in the planning and in the killing of the old man. Finally, we can conclude that the narrator is a mentally unstable and therefore a highly dangerous person who kills in cold blood for no apparent reason. Some would say a psycho, perhaps. A monster that feels no pity and does not deserve to live, for he strikes at night and you won't see him coming.
So, after being shut up in a mental hospital for reading this tale, now you're asking me for an opinion. So I will tell you what I think. I think that the Telltale Heart disrupts our vision of reality. And it absolutely creates some kind of noisy fluctuation in our consciousness. This tale smoothly sparks some kind of dissonance in our heads and forces us to enter the void of the narrator's mind. Yes, I really like this kind of psychological horror story. I really like the frenetic, hysterical elocution of the narrator and his recurring pleas to the reader, which throughout the story reinforce the suspicion that he's mentally insane as me. Beyond his manic speech, something that really catches my attention is the also creepy fascination with the old man's eyes as further evidence of lunacy. Yes. The weird issue in this kind of story is that we get to know who the killer is, sort of, but we can't really figure out his motives. As this story deals with fear of death, with time, and the question of how a person can kill another, Edgar Allan Poe's story seems to be immersed with an underlying sadness and a deep sense of meaning. Personally, I believe this is not just a masterful portrayal of madness, but an example of how guilt can make an already crazy man even crazier. I think, yes, and I got it. I think the narrator accepts when he says, I have all things in heaven